everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Will, and this is Jessup. So, this was something that I wanted to do to celebrate the fourth movie coming out in this beloved franchise. We decided to go back in time and review the very first Kung Fu Panda movie.
Yep.
Now, for those who don't know, who haven't seen the movie yet, you should. It's actually really good. So basically, there's this panda named Po, played by Jack Black, and he idolizes the this team of kung fu warriors called the Furious uh, Five. And funny enough, they're all named after kung fu moves. There's Tiger, or Tigress, Mantis, Monkey, Crane, and Viper. And when a villain from the past returns to seek vengeance, they turn to Po to help them save the valley. Now, I remember seeing this movie or seeing the trailer for this movie for the first time. I don't know about you, Jessup, and I had little to no interest in seeing this movie.
No, I was on board with it. Um, but I didn't think it was going to be anything special or lead to the big franchise it is today.
Yeah, but I remember seeing this movie for the first time, and this was one of the rare occasions where I actually ate my own words because this movie was really good. I loved it.
Let's be honest, we usually eat our own words.
That's true. I think one of the things that makes this movie great is the comedy,
Yeah.
because it has really good setup, really good payoff. The climax, it does a really good job at mixing, like, kung fu action with some slapstick involved.
Yeah.
Um, I think there's some slapstick throughout almost the whole thing, really, mostly involving Poe.
Yeah. I do see it as kind of basic, so I think that's why Will likes it a bit more, but I think where the series really um like sets itself up is in the sequels. Because if you were to rank the three movies we have now, I think this one would be at the bottom.
Yeah, I say
Even
so.
the villain's pretty base. I mean, he's not a bad villain. He gets the job done, but compared to how like complex and interesting the other villains are in the series, he's pretty basic.
Yeah, well, it's like we said while watching this movie. The first movie isn't really anything you need to, like, take extremely seriously. It's mostly there to, like, entertain the family and have a good time, which it really does.
In a way, the series is kind of like Harry Potter, where like they get progressively darker and darker.
Yeah, I think that's what they might do for the fourth movie. Is like they're gonna go even further in this. But I agree. I would say maybe the second movie is probably the best one.
Yeah.
I might rewatch both of those to see like what happens. But this is a case of DreamWorks. Like, this is like one of the best never judge a book by its cover movies. Not in terms of, like, the methods that it tries to portray, because Poe is chosen as the Dragon Warrior by accident, no less. And this wise master tries to convince him, no, he actually is the dragon warrior, and I will show you.
Yeah. What this movie is really here for is just to set things up, just get us introduced to the other movies in the series.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way
Uh,
to put it. Many of you know I'm a big Witcher fan. If you read the books, the first two books in the Witcher series are actually just a collection of short stories that set up the world. And I see it like that. They're setting things up, they're getting things ready for like the story they want to tell.
yeah. Well, I feel like that's kind of how some movies are. They just, like, they try to set up future movies, but I guess DreamWorks was like very confident that this movie was going to be a big hit, which,
It
big
was.
surprise, big surprise it is, as well as the How to Train Your Dragon movies, because that ended up being a trilogy as well.
Yeah.
Um, but I think there was something about this movie, other than that it being, like, kind of basic and it's setting up, like, some darker sequels, then it really developed, like, quite the audience. I also think, like, a lot of the characters are pretty likable. Like Poe, he's lovable, he's goofy. He's not the brightest, but he has a good heart, and he knows what he has big dreams.
One thing I kind of connected this to, and I just want to share this.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I think you guys know that I'm a teacher and I work with autistic kids, um, kids on the spectrum. And one thing that's really hard for me as a teacher like that is I have to kind of think they in the ways they would know like what their interests are, work that into my teaching to keep them focused. And we see that in the movie. Poe's mentor Sifu has to kind of think differently when he teaches Poe kung fu.
No, that was actually something that was really interesting that I didn't think about, Jessup, and now it's something that I kind of want to show to some of my students as
Yeah,
well. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
I think this would be like a great like age group for like grades maybe one, two, well not maybe one, but maybe like two or grade two or up.
Yeah, 7 Up, that's fire. I wouldn't say the same thing with the sequels.
No, the sequels you would probably need to have a little bit more of a, not say like a middle school, but maybe fourth grade a little bit.
4th, 5th grade, yeah.
Um, but yeah, and you understand like the frustration that Shifu has with Poe, because originally he and the Furious Five want nothing to do with Poe at all. But you kind
Yeah.
of like understand why Shifu is the way he is, and that goes.
And sorry, going off that with my point of autism, working with like people on the spectrum, you kind of have to go to their level and they have to come up to yours and you just kind of meet in the middle ground
Mhm. You have to try to come up with a compromise that both of you will benefit from.
as teacher and student.
Absolutely. And kind of agree with you on the villain, Jessup. He's kind of generic. Well, not generic. He's basic,
He's
but
fine for the movie.
yeah, he does his job well. But he's not as good as like say Shen from the second movie or Kai from the third movie. Which now I kind of want to check out the sequels because I still think those two might be better than the first one.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
So yeah, I think if you want a movie to like just have a good time with the family, if you want like some likable characters, some fun animation, and some pretty well delivered comedy as well as some fun action, then I would definitely recommend this movie.
Speaking of things we um speaking of situations where we ate our own words,
Yes.
we're immediately going to film something another review as soon as we get done with this one.
Oh yeah. And let's just say you're gonna need to go into a world of pure imagination. So we will see you in a couple of minutes. So until next time, skadoosh. You want to add anything?
I'm good.